folks, Mark here at Whiskey Whistle, your wise choice in independent whiskey and spirits reviews. Today on whiskey review number 240, we're going to be looking at Linkwood for the first time here on the channel. This is an independent bottling from Gordon and Macphail, part of their private collection, and it is 1998, 16 years old. This was distilled in 1998, the 14th of December, and it was bottled in October of 2015. This is really unique in that this was finished in Côte Rôtie French wine, so that's quite interesting. I believe that is a type of a Syrah wine that is well done in that particular area. Anyway, I want to say hi to Rocky. Rocky, say hello. Say hi there. Hello. All right, you sit down there. Let's get it poured. And this little sample comes thanks to a Whiskey Whistle whiskey friend, and his name is Hung-Sik Jung. Hung-Sik Jung, thank you very much. Look at the color of that. Now, just a very little bit about Linkwood. It was founded in 1821, and they started out, with fairly small production, something like 4,500 liters per year. And presently, they are up to 2.5 million liters of alcohol per year. And they have six stills. They have 3 wash stills and 3 spirit stills. And it looks as though there's actually 2 separate still houses, Linkwood A and Linkwood B. So anyway, in total they've got 6 stills. So getting to be a bigger malt distillery, fairly big. Anyway, so that's interesting. Now, there's lots more about it. I'll invite you to read that online. Let's get into this now. Here on the channel, what I like to do is look at the color of the whiskey. Then I like to check out the legs. After that, we'll have a look at the nose, the taste, and the finish before talking about the Whiskey Whistle Whisky Score at the end of the show. All right, so first of all, the color. Let's have a look at the color of this beautiful looking whiskey. Now, I'm pretty sure that's natural in color. This was a release of, I think, 4,000 bottles. Can you get a good sense of the color there? And this is well beyond a golden hue, and it's got a slight type of a pinkish glow. That's coming from that wine influence. And I would probably call this a well-polished copper, perhaps something like that, because it's well beyond gold, and it's got that nice sort of a bright glow to it. Anyway, let's check out the legs. Now, for the next few reviews, by the way, I'm going to be trying to avoid too much editing, so hopefully you can be patient if my smelling or my tasting takes longer than normal. And here we go. Let's have a quick look. When you want to check out the legs, this is what you want to do. You want to roll the whiskey around towards the lip of the glass, and then let it drop down. Okay, so fairly brisk first legs. But they sort of stick around for a while. So hopefully that means this is going to have a nice mouthfeel. Let's wait and find out. Now, before we get into the nosing, first of all, a couple of things to talk about. You may have noticed that I've just recently opened a Patreon account. Have a look at patreon.com/whiskywhistle, WHISKY, patreon.com Whiskey Whistle. Why not become a member of Team Whiskey Whistle? What I'm planning are absolutely some special events that'll be held for the Patreon supporters, and eventually some accessories and tokens of appreciation for the patrons. All right, so patreon.com/whiskywhistle. Secondly, I want to give a quick shout out to the Whiskey Tube group. Look at sharp hashtag, shows my age, hashtag Whiskey Tube, WHISKYTUBE. These are gentlemen who also have whiskey-themed YouTube channels, all right? So, let's see. Sowleg from Denmark, Sowleg. Malted Man Cave, Jason Whiskey Wise. Getting Weird with the Beard. No Nonsense Whiskey. Aquavitae, Aqvavitae. Trenny and C. Scotch for Dummies. Whiskey in the Six. The Scotch Test Dummies. Have you heard of them? Foodquig. Foodquig. And who did I forget here? Malted in Montreal. Oh, and Seattle 206723. And Whiskey Wednesday. Am I forgetting someone? I think I am. Anyway, so those are the Whiskey Tube gang. We are Whiskey Tubers. And some other supporters of Whiskey Whistle who also have whiskey channels. JDC Drinks Whiskey, The Spirit Safe, A Drama Day, The Whiskey Hunter, Jason Debley, Maltman Mike and Friends, Rosemary Moon, A Wee Dram, Scotch Cooper, and Whiskey Cast. All right. Okay, so on to the nosing for the Linkwood 16-year-old. As you can expect, this has a very sweet, fruity nose. I can also tell it's going to be fairly dry. For fruits, I get especially raspberry. So, in terms of red fruits, we often refer to that as red fruits, but compared to strawberries and other red fruits, this one's a little bit on the tart side. So raspberries and something, I guess there's a little bit of a lemon scent also. So lemon and raspberry. Perhaps some very tart apples also. And ginger, yes, there's some ginger in there. There is not much in the way of cinnamon. Perhaps a hint of nutmeg, but very little of that. And there's a little hint of vanilla that comes through if you let your nose kind of sink in deeply enough. All right, so that's, I'm salivating already. That's the nose for the Linkwood Linkwood 1998 from Gordon and Macphail's private collection. All right, on to the palate. Cheers, everybody. Such a juicy nose. Compared to sweetness, you've got a little bit more tartness and a little bit more astringency than other Spacesides. This is a Spaceside single malt. I forgot to mention that. This is also 45% ABV. Another thing I forgot to mention. I still find it very much raspberry influenced. A little bit of lemonade also. And that hint of nutmeg is carrying through, as is the ginger. And since I'm tasting this all at once here without notes, the finish, quite long, quite juicy. The astringency also carries quite a while, but that's not alone. It is a sweet, juicy, tart kind of an astringency that carries for quite a long time. I believe the extra wine finishing really had quite an effect on this, and that's really made it just a very juicy, fruit-forward, berry-forward type of an event. Very nice. Let's add a bit of water in there and see what happens. I think I can safely add a good milliliter. Now, if you are on Instagram, have a look for 흥식정 on Instagram also. What is his handle? I'll have to put his handle in my description. Okay, so that's fairly well mixed up. Okay, what about the nose now with water? There's something sort of almondine coming through now. Like raw slivered almonds. Maybe a hint of leather also. Even though it's only 16 years, I find that's about enough time for certain whiskeys to develop that sort of a leathery sort of particular whiskey note that you only get from aged whiskeys. All right. A little more vanilla now. Okay, on to the palate with water. Cheers. A little bit less lemonade. A little bit more raspberries, ripe raspberries with a bit of sugar sprinkled on top. Did you ever do that when you were young? That was very big when I was little, to sprinkle a little bit of sugar on your strawberries or on your raspberries as a dessert. I think that's fallen out of favor now. The finish is a little bit drier, a little bit less sweetness I'm noticing now with water added. Still very interesting. This real fruit-forward sort of flavor that's kind of unusual to have that much berry influence in a whiskey. Now you might think that is something kind of like a sherry finish. It's not really that close to the sherry influence. The straight wines have a little bit more fresh fruit and berry and grape forward, whereas the fortified wines like port or like sherry seem to have more of a dried fruit influence, stewed fruits, cooked fruit kind of influence. Should we get Rocky's input? Hey, Rocky. Oh, hey. Well, I know you're sleeping. My goodness. Okay. Rocky, how does that smell? What do you think? Do you like that? Well, let's see. Well, he's not a big fan. Oh, well, he took a taste. Not bad, huh? All right, well, let's get on to the WhiskyWhistle Whisky Score for the Linkwood 1998 from Gordon & Macphail's private collection. What's that going to be? Well, it's going to be 89 out of 100. It's juicy, it's interestingly matured, it's got that very unique finish. I love this whiskey. All right, well, that was my review of Linkwood from Gordon & Macphail, the private collection 1998, finished in Côte Rôtie wine casks. Hope you enjoyed it. Why not get involved and click the link right there. Click to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. What do you think of Linkwood? And well, we'll see you for the next one. That's going to be something also equally interesting. Goodbye. Thanks for watching Whisky Whistle. Be sure to subscribe and don't forget to give this video a like and leave a comment down below. Be sure to stay tuned next time to join me, the host of the show, Mark, as I explore more whiskeys with you. Take care now, and we'll see you next time.